I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. We're in a brand new week, but more importantly, a brand new year. Happy New Year, everybody. May 2022 be a year that we see the end of the coronavirus pandemic, but most importantly, may it be prosperous, may it be safe, may it be healthy, may it be peaceful, and may it be filled with joy. And keeping you company every Monday to Thursday right here on the Israel Brief with your top stories making headlines is me, Rolene Marks, proudly brought to you by Lay of the Land. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at those dominating headlines. And we begin with news that yesterday the IDF struck Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip, including a rocket manufacturing factory and military post. Now, this comes in response to two rockets that were fired from the Strip towards Israel on Saturday, landing in the Mediterranean Sea. This effectively breaks the tenuous ceasefire that Egypt moderated. This was after Operation Guardians of the Wall, or Shomer Chomot as it's known in Hebrew, which took place in May last year, where in excess of 4,300 rockets were fired from the Strip into Israel, creating a flare-up between Hamas terrorists and other organizations and Israel. Now, in addition to that, yesterday Hamas say that they are threatening to kidnap Israelis if a deal on the prisoner swap is not met. Hamas wants a significant amount of their operatives, or what we would call terrorists with blood on their hands, released from Israeli jails. Israel, from our part, wants the remains of two fallen soldiers, Hadar Golden and Oron Shaul, who fell in battle during Operation Protective Edge, or Miftzat Tzuketan, that happened in 2014. Hamas also have two civilians they are being held captive, Hisham al-Sayed and Avera Mengistu. In other news, last night, Prime Minister Bennett gave the go-ahead for any Israelis over the age of 60 and healthcare workers to receive a fourth vaccine. This is to guard against the Omicron variant. But very important, earlier today it was announced that come this Sunday, the 9th of January, Israel will be opening our skies to foreign visitors who have either been fully vaccinated and or fully recovered from coronavirus. Now, we know that Israel has faced a lot of criticism over several weeks. Some people saying that they've been separated from their loved ones, from countries who haven't been able to get into the country. And it's created a lot of consternation between Israel and our diaspora communities. But I do have to emphasize that Israel's priority is ensuring the safety and health of her citizens, as well as the effectiveness of our healthcare system. Now, up for discussion were several countries that have been on the red list, and pending approval, which is likely to be given, they will be taken off. These are countries like France, South Africa, Hungary, Spain, and various others. But please note, the following countries are remaining on the red list: the United States, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Mexico, and Switzerland. So if you're coming from those countries and you want to visit Israel, unfortunately those countries still are red. I do reiterate that countries like France, South Africa, Canada, Switzerland, Spain, and several others will become orange countries. But as always, we implore you please to check the Israeli Ministry of Health and Ministry of Tourism to ensure that you understand exactly what the guidelines are. Yesterday, visitors to the JPost website were in for a bit of a shock when, instead of the content that they used to, images of Israel's alleged nuclear plant in Dimona being attacked was up on the site. Yes, the Jerusalem's online edition, as well as Israeli daily publication Maariv's Twitter account, were hacked by Iranian hackers. Now, experts in cybersecurity say this is not unusual, and as Iran and Israel square off at the moment, we can expect these kind of attacks. However, the value in attacking, say, a media outlet like Maariv or Jerusalem Post is not as high value as a cyber attack on infrastructure such as a hospital or any other infrastructure. And our final story takes us to Brooklyn, where protesters came out yesterday in solidarity wearing IDF t-shirts and sweatshirts. Last week we brought you the story of two young students who were beaten up and called dirty Jews in Brooklyn because they identify as Zionists and felt that why should they not be allowed or be ashamed to wear their IDF sweatshirts. Well, in a show of solidarity, many came out to support them. And if you want to support them, you still can by putting on your IDF t-shirt or sweatshirt, going onto social media with the hashtag IDF Shirt Challenge and show your solidarity. So these are our top stories as we open the year, and we know many of you are still on vacation and will start heading back during the course of the week and the upcoming weekend. In the meantime, you can check out some of our archived articles. We have a fascinating story up on our Facebook page at Lottel's site. If you haven't already given us a like or a follow, please do so. It's all about Israel's organ courier who managed to do his job during lockdown without leaving the airport. What am I talking about? Go there and read for yourself. It's also up on our website with a whole host of other wonderful articles from writers from around the world, and you can find us at www.layoftheland.online. That's www.layoftheland.online. There's something up there for everybody's taste, from Zionist issues to Jewish issues to technology to Startup Nation and even diet tips. It's all up on our website. And if you are watching us on YouTube, let's help grow our YouTube channel, our community this year by clicking on the subscribe button. It's the big red button right under the screen. And while you're viewing us, please give us a like or a share. Help get news from Israel out to the mainstream media. Yesterday, one of the news channels, CBS, they led with the headline, Israel strikes targets in Gaza, with no context as to why we are striking those targets. Now, if you want your news in context and balanced and explaining all the situations and nuances, please help share the Israel Brief. It really helps us get out to as many people as possible. And of course, we're on Twitter. You can find us there at Lay of the Land 5. That's at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. Click on us, follow us, engage with us. We love it when you do. But more importantly, join me again tomorrow for your top stories from Israel. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll catch up with each other tomorrow.